Tuesday, July 23rd, 1861. Such a horrid sight. A long car with dead and wounded was at the depot. The latter were being carried to the hospital. Another train came up whilst we were there, and our noble President Jefferson Davis was on board. All rushed forward to shake hands with him. He gave us a beautiful little speech telling us of our glorious victory.
And so reads Fanny Page Hume's diary entry for July 23, 1861, just 2 days after the first major land engagement of the American Civil War, the Battle of First Manassas. Already, the horrors of war were arriving by the trainload at the depot at Orange Courthouse, followed closely by the politicians.
It's a song, a sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days have you lingered round my cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more.
More famous communities for which epic battles are named certainly experienced the living nightmare that was the Civil War. Gettysburg is one such community, but after the soldiers moved on, after the burial parties completed their grisly task, after the famous speech was delivered, Gettysburg returned to relative normal. Not so with Orange County. The war and its horrors were felt here from April of 1861 as Confederate conscripts passed through town by the thousands until March of 1865 when the last soldier, a Union cavalryman, died at the Samuel P. Moore Receiving Hospital in Gordonsville. Although neighboring Spotsylvania County to the east holds the tragic distinction of being the most fought-over territory in the nation, the residents of Orange County, Virginia, certainly endured extraordinary hardship for all 4 years of the Civil War. In the spring of 1862, the Confederacy pulled back from northern Virginia to behind what was known as the Rapidan-Rappahannock Line. The Rapidan River, which marks the line between Orange and Madison and Culpeper counties to the north, had become the de facto northern boundary of the Confederacy. And so the Civil War was fought from behind this line. Forays, skirmishes, scouting parties, and entire campaigns were launched across this line from both sides. The Battle of Orange Courthouse was essentially a probe to find Stonewall Jackson. Jackson's march to meet Pope at the Battle of Cedar Mountain, his subsequent march to Second Manassas, and eventually Antietam, both originated from Orange County in 1862. Robert E. Lee took refuge behind this line barely a month after his defeat at Gettysburg in 1863. His army spent the entire winter here. The ill-fated Mine Run campaign, the Battle of Morton's Ford, and of course the horrific Battle of the Wilderness in 1864 were all attempts by the Union to cross the Rapidan line.
But it took them a long time to get across that river. And a lot of lives were lost on both sides. To come back here to this place it's not a battlefield, but it gets to me, you know.